It's a child.
George, are you there? Are you there?
Oh my God.
Oh,
We
finally.
we
Oh,
did it, girl.
we did it. How are you?
I'm good. Can you see me okay?
You look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous. I'm gonna go do this. Is this better? I think that's better.
I think you look great no matter what you do.
Oh my God, Isabel, don't make me have to kiss you through this thing because I will. You're so gorgeous. Look at you. I love you.
It's been so long. How have you been?
I know it's been so long. I don't like it.
I know, it's too long. It's
I want to
crazy.
kiss your face.
Okay.
It's such a beautiful face.
Aw, thank you.
I gotta say, you really are, girl, you're like beauty inside and out. You really are. You're just like an amazing soul. I have to say that.
Oh, George,
You
thank
know,
you.
no, you are. It's like you just have, some people sort of radiate energy that way, and you definitely do. You just radiate this beautiful, sort of healing, gorgeous energy. And when you sing, like I'm on the floor, like it takes me like 5 days to pick myself up after I hear you.
Well, that's no good for work. Oh, you're awesome. You're
Oh,
awesome. You always make me feel so good.
so you're in New York, I'm in New York. It's been amazing. Like I have to say, like I've been like reaching out to people and talking to people that I haven't spoken to in a really long time. Obviously, here we are, you and I, and it's really a good time to like I feel like reconnect.
Bolton said, "Are those Moscow glasses?" I was just looking back at a question somebody asked
No,
you.
these glasses. It's funny. I get a lot of compliments on these glasses. They're from a company called SEE. So, yeah,
Like
okay.
seeds, candies.
Yes, exactly. And so for those of you who don't know, so I am what we're calling a style expert. So what does that mean? So that means that I dress people. I'm also a stylist, and a lot of people that I dress, celebrities like Isabel, and I have, a Broadway actresses and movie actresses as well, although Isabel has done movies as well. Um, which amazing, by the way. We have to talk about that. And 'cause that started right when I think like right around the time that I stopped seeing you because you moved away for a while. I
Right.
think that whole process had started, right?
Well,
Um,
I think we made a sizzle when I at some point. God, I have no idea. I have to look back at dates and things like that. But we worked
because it was,
together on a few projects, and then I was gone for a while. Yeah,
yeah,
and then I've been back, and I've just been super busy and broke. So
yeah. So,
especially now.
yeah. I mean, it's like So I've been, so that's how Isabel and I know each other. You guys, we've worked together. I've styled her. We've actually done. I had a web series, and we did a web series together, an episode of my web series, which is dressing stars for their opening nights. And she was opening at the Met at Lincoln Center that night. And we had this gorgeous dress. And it was like, she made this fabulous entrance. It was amazing. And it's just been really cool, to know Isabel. I adore her. And then I did something at Lincoln Center where I talked about fashion on Broadway and in the arts. And you were on stage with me with a bunch of Broadway ladies. And we had a blast that night. We actually have a little history. It's
It's
amazing.
true. That's so
Um,
fun. And you know who I saw? I saw Kate Baldwin recently because she's singing. Well, I saw her actually, two different places because I saw her at opening night of West Side Story because I went with Jessica Costa. I was going to say Jessica Costa. No, I went with Jessica Vosk. Sorry.
right.
And so she and I went together, and I saw Kate there. So I said hi.
She's one of my besties.
I know. And that's why it was like, it's Kate. And I saw her also sing in a concert. When was it? Maybe before the holidays, and
Right.
it was like a tribute concert over at Symphony Space on 96th Street.
Oh, yes, I
Um,
was there that night.
you were?
Was Carolee Carmelo on stage with her?
There was a bunch of great ladies up there.
Isabel, I think I was there. I
Did
swear
you
to
dress
God.
her? Of
Yes,
course you did. So see, that's why that's so. Oh, I'm so bummed I didn't see you there.
I know. That's crazy.
That's stupid.
How funny is that?
That's dumb. I hate that.
That is so funny.
Well,
It's funny.
you were there.
I did an interview the other day, and we were talking about like, during this time, what what does clothing mean like right now? Like, like what did your clothes in your closet mean? Like it seems so frivolous and it seems so silly and it's all just a bunch of bullshit, and hair and makeup and all of that glam stuff. Like what is it,
Yeah.
And what I talked about, which I think is really kind of cool. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, I would like to impart to you that, this is a time where you really connect to yourself. And when you take the time to look at your clothing, think about your hair and your makeup. See, because the thing is that like, I'll give you an example. So guys, it's like this. So like, let's just say, and we've all done this during this pandemic. I know I sure as hell have, where it's like 3 or 4 days go by. Well, maybe not 3 or 4 days, but like 2 days go by. Maybe there's no shower. Maybe we're in sweatpants. Maybe guys, we haven't like got a razor and introduced them to our face. Ladies, maybe we have not introduced a brush to our hair. And you start to feel not so great. Like you kind of spiral down. And why is that? Because you literally are moving away from yourself. You want to come back to yourself. And the way that you come back to yourself is to connect yourself. So when you stand in the mirror and you're like, okay, I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to brush my hair, I'm going to put on even like a colored sweatshirt that makes me feel great. I'm going to put on a pair of jeans just because I want to be in a pair of pants that make me feel like I'm pulled together. What happens? You start to feel better. And you're going to get on the phone and you're going to tell a friend, hey, you know what? I finally feel a little bit better today. I actually put on some clothes. I put on a little makeup. I brushed my hair and I feel so good. Why do you feel good? The big why, the big W is because you are taking time to connect yourself, self-care, self-love, self-identification. You're like, you make that connection and the spiral starts to go upwards because you start to feel better. So I want to really get this message out today, which is to say, take that moment for yourself if you can every day. It doesn't mean be fancy. It doesn't mean be glamorous. It doesn't mean be frivolous. It just means love yourself. Connect to yourself. Because, I mean, look at what Isabel and I are doing today. We're talking on a phone call. You guys are there, and we're hopefully giving you some inspiration, a little uplifting smile, a little love, a little something, right? That's what we're trying to do. And what it is like, so we had to take time to, so I put on the bright sweater. Isabel put that beautiful headband in her hair, did a little makeup. She looks gorgeous. So it just makes you feel better because you're connecting to yourself. So if there's anything you walk away from today in our call while you're listening to us, just walk away with, and I know it sounds kind of like, kumbaya, whatever. We're all holding hands and lighting candles, but just let kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Just love yourself a little bit. Take a moment for yourself because you're a better mother, a better father, a better friend, a better sister, a better brother, a better girlfriend, a better boyfriend. You're better for the people you're better for the people in your life that you love and that love you. There's more of you for them when you do that. So there's my little rant.
I agree with that. I mean, I think that's great. And I think, even sometimes just the simple, oh, just get up, shower.
Yes. And you
good.
feel better. I mean, I took a walk on Sunday for like, an hour and I hadn't done that in a really long time and I felt so much better when I got back.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of like I said, connecting to yourself and giving yourself a moment and just kind of, really loving yourself so that you can love other people in your life right now. It's really, guys, we got to call it what it is. We're all having a moment, aren't we? I mean,
It's true. We are having a moment. So here's a really cute question. Supreme Lida. I love how first of all, he's asked me if I speak Spanish because my last name doesn't seem Spanish, which is understandable because my father was not Spanish. He was American. He was German Irish. So that hence the Leonard, it's probably very Irish. Although the German like to say Leonhardt, which I think is great. Don't you think Leonhardt sounds French?
Leonhardt,
like
I love it.
Lionheart. Like, why not, right?
You are kind of a lion
But
girl.
I love it.
Sexy.
So I'm like, but my mom is the one from Argentina and she's from Buenos Aires and that's how I speak Spanish. So, but the other question, here's a good question because I don't know the answer to it and I think it's cute. So Supreme Lida says, any tips for pulling off an ascot if you're under 40?
Yeah, I think the way to do it. So personally, as a stylist and dressing people, I think it's really kind of sexy when, very sort of, let's just say, you know, a guy that's kind of like macho. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's unshaven, he's got a little scruff going, kind of messy hair. You know, I like that juxtaposition of what we call sort of like the high and the low. So if you're gonna rock an ascot and you want it to kind of be like, you know, I don't really give a shit. I'm just like, I'm digging ascots and I kind of want to wear one. Then I would say don't shave for a couple of days, kind of like let your hair kind of go this way and that way, and just kind of like an I don't give a shit attitude. And then you throw an ascot on with maybe like a rumpled kind of wrinkly Oxford shirt and a pair of jeans and, you know, maybe like a, just like throw a blazer over it. And it's just kind of like, yep, I'm kind of doing this thing. It doesn't look as, you know, dressed up and fussed over and kind of forced. It just looks kind of effortless. And that's a cool way for a young guy to do an ascot. That's what I think.
That's very cool. Yeah, I never would have.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's like an ascot could be sort of like, you know, it's kind of buttoned up, a little proper. We see it as sort of British, you know, like kind of like, you know, a little bit more elegant, and you could do that. But if you're younger and you want to do like a little modern twist on it, that's when I kind of like it. So like if you watch, like, let's hope we do get to watch as time goes forward, you know, some award shows and some red carpets, you know, further down the line here. You see these young guys that are on the red carpet and they're doing their tuxedos and they're doing all that, and they'll do like a little facial hair, a little scruff, a little mustache, a little goatee, just to kind of give that little juxtaposition. And I think that's what can make things that are a little bit fancy, I love that word in quotations, fancy, you know, make it look a little bit more modern. So I hope that answers.
I like that. Maybe I should get an ascot. Why not? I could just like.
You actually could.
That could be really fun. Like, why not?
I mean, he's just so lucky. Does he hear you sing? He must.
He did. Well, now he does for sure. But he does. He comes to sometimes he'll come to productions depending on what they are. So I love how, so Anna says, what are some items for 2020 that women should have in their closets? And let's say, by the way, women, men, they, he, she, all of the above, anybody, what are some of this kind of 2020?
Okay, Anna.
Aside from
lady.
a really comfortable pair of pajama pants.
Yes. Anna, ladies, gentlemen, one of the biggest things that we have going on right now, and you'll see it, any style person, any blogger, any expert, it's all about the tie-dye. It is all about the tie-dye. If you're going to have look at the face, like if you're going to have like one thing in your wardrobe right now and you want to look totally cool and totally current, then you just, but you get a tie-dye. I see you doing your face and rolling your eyes. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be the crazy tie-dye, you know, like the really loud tie-dye, because a lot of people are making their own. Like you can get like, you know, sweatshirts from like Walmart or, you know, or Zara or Gap, or like very inexpensive like white sweatshirts, and then you can make your own tie-dye, and you can do it with very soft colors and just do like a very muted sort of tie-dye, which is kind of cool. But it really is, tie-dye is huge, 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 huge. So if you want to subscribe,
that's like super hard for somebody like me, because that was like my generation, like my childhood generation.
Yeah.
So like for me, tie-dye, we're all like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the 80s are gone.
Yeah.
And we say
yes, I know. Well, it's just like that's one of the big ones. And apropos of some of those trends, they're kind of back, right? So like anything crochet, like if you wanted to do like an open weave crochet sweater, you know what I mean? Kind of sexy with a little cami underneath, and just do it with a pair of like, you know, button fly jeans. That's very current and cool.
I like that. I like that.
And that could be kind of sexy, right? Like kind of off the shoulder. That seems kind of you, Isabel. I could see you doing
I like that. I have like a couple of slight, like the knits, but slightly more open weave. I like those. They're good for like the transition into summertime when you're not sure what the weather's doing outside.
Well, and guys, you know, like some of these trends, so I'm the brand ambassador for a line of clothing called Logo by Lori Goldstein, and I'm on QVC all of the time. So you guys can see me on QVC. I'm on all the time, even through the pandemic. I've been Skyping from home and calling in, selling her clothes, and she's the founder and the designer, and she's an amazing talent, and she's been in the business forever, and she's dressed Madonna and Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez. Like, she's dressed everybody, so it's really cool to be working with her. That's so awesome. When she's not on QVC, I am for her. And she has all of these kinds of things in her line of clothes. So again, so we have crochet, we have tie-dye, polka dots, huge, huge, huge trend for the girls, and even guys, like a polka dot tie. But Polka dots are very big. And it's also about clothes for women right now, kind of flowy. We're seeing a lot of long and flowy. The ruffles are really big. Like when you see a ruffle, like a Victorian collar, looks really cool and can be modern, but you could do it like in a sleeveless top with just a little bit of a ruffle at the top of it and make it kind of sexy and open and rock it with a pair of like, jean shorts and maybe like a platform espadrille or something like that.
Right. That's nice.
I'm trying to think of what else. Guys, we're seeing a lot of camo. Camo is still happening, both for men and women, and also in accessories. And this one's kind of fun if you're kind of like, I like happy colors and bright colors, especially during this time, because I just feel like it can make you feel kind of good. And so like the highlighter colors that we're calling them, you're seeing it in t-shirts and tops. And I think it's cool to do something like that in something that's very casual, right? So just get like a cotton t-shirt in it and throw it on with, like a pair of jeans or even a pair of leggings if it's a longer top or something like that.
Right.
I think you could look for these things in colors that really will just kind of bring you joy and make you feel kind of happy. And that's kind of what we want for clothing anyway,
Yeah. I was thinking about the color thing today because, of course, as a New Yorker, born and bred, I'd say that
Right.
so much of my wardrobe for so many years of my life was, oh, I don't have that shade of gray. It's like black, dark black, jet black,
Right.
matte black, shiny
Yeah.
black, gray, dark gray, light gray, maybe some white. And that's debatable because, you go out in New York with white, it's not coming back white.
Yeah. I mean, but it's funny because obviously when you do your gowns for all of your concert work, that's where I've seen you get into a lot of color and you look so good as a brunette in those jewel tones, the purples and the fuchsias and the cobalt
love those
blues
colors, yes.
and the red, and you just look amazing in those dresses. I love how you look in those dresses. And so, but you also, as a brunette, I think it's really cool if you wanted to do all whites and creams in like, sort of an outfit, like whether it's like, a pair of white jeans and maybe like an off-white top and just sort of look monochromatic. I think that's a fabulous look. That looks really cool. And especially for a brunette, all that light up on you. Black is a really hard color to wear because what it does is it really kind of drains us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just difficult on people's skin tone, even as dark as you are. Like, I just feel like unless you're African American, it's a hard
so
color to
dark
wear.
right
Well, I know, but like the darker hair, the darker eyes. Yeah, I know. We all need some vitamin D, right? But I feel like I think that midnight navy is a much better choice. Yes, you have. I've seen you in a lot of midnight navy, and you look so good in that.
I love it. Like
Yeah,
you said, the jewel tones. I love those. The dark
you look
reds,
great in them.
dark blues. Any of the dark like jewel tones are great, and the brighter jewel tones. I think when we get into pastel, it's a little different. But some people wear pastel so well, and I love it.
The blondes and the gingers wear pastels really beautifully, and it lights them up just like a jewel tone would light you up as a brunette.
It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it.
And you guys, it's all about accessories right now too. Girls, it's like, the headband like you have in today, a pair of earrings, you know what I mean? Just something that's, because, we're not doing a whole lot of shopping right now necessarily, but if you want to get some things that are less expensive that just make you feel kind of nice, here's something to consider too.
Yeah.
You all that are watching and that you all that are asking questions, by the way, ask us anything because I love answering questions. This is a time where you're all stars. You're all TV stars. You're all movie stars. Why? Because you're doing Instagram lives. You're doing Zoom calls. You're going to Zoom parties. You're FaceTiming people that haven't seen you in a really long time. And so people are kind of like, what do I do? How do I look good? Like, people are dressing from the top up. I've gone to Zoom birthday parties. I've gone to Zoom dance parties. Like, people are into it. And I think that it's almost like you're being seen by more people now than you were before the pandemic.
There is something to be said about that. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've definitely seen faces of people that I wouldn't normally see, unless I were working with them in a production or something like that. And also in this kind of setting, you're a little bit, it's not like you're closer to them, but you see maybe more of their face or only their face. So you're really focused on their face, or their shoulders up or whatever.
It's so true. It's just so true. And it's not even like a conscious thing. It's just a physical result of the way that we're communicating right now. And so you're thinking about, oh God, maybe I should have, done the eyebrows a little bit, a little clip. Maybe I should have, cut off a little of this, skin looking a little red, we're flushed, what's happening? Like, I don't know, it's just like, okay. And so
It's
it's
interesting. I mean,
funny.
we're still so, in some ways, so like I'm always of two minds, about not so much about fashion, because I think fashion is so interesting, and historically I think it's really interesting. I think that, I think about like the Sun King, I think about Louis the 14th, and I think about so much of what he did, and so many, how crazy that kind of was, and all the trends essentially that came out of that time period as well, and so many other time periods, and all the, fashion is such a, I don't even know how to describe it. You would have a better way to describe it. It's just a very interesting thing to me. I think that because
Very fluid,
it's very fluid, things come and go, and very fast.
forever changing.
Forever changing, exactly. And I think something that I have realized, that because I'm traveling, well, usually traveling so often, that most of the time the clothes that I need are the ones I need in rehearsal, which means to me, I just need comfortable clothes. I just need clothes that I'm okay getting dirty. I need clothes that I'm not going to worry about how they wash. Certainly clothes that don't need to go to the dry cleaners, And so I have a ton of those kinds of things on hand. And then I have the sort of jump up to like the cocktail attire that I would need, that has to span whether I have sort of a business meeting, but not necessarily for singing, but maybe for singing if it's like a corporate event, something that's not a full-on gown, that sort of mid-level thing, which also tends to, I find that area actually the hardest, because there's just so much going on there. And then of course there's like the more dressed up formal gowns and things like that. And
I understand where you're coming from. Here's what I will say. I think that at the end of the day, what it is about fashion and clothing and style and how you feel about it personally is what should bring you joy, whatever that is. Right. So if in fact you have a fabulous dress that makes you feel amazing for all the reasons that are your own, then you should be able to wear it as much as you want. And you can, it's just up to you. I think that prior to this pandemic, I have found from a lot of women that I dress, whether they're an Oscar-winning actress in LA or a Tony-winning, award-winning actress on Broadway, or a Broadway Metropolitan Opera star like yourself, it's just about, there's a part of show business that is the show business, because it's just what it is. And it's all about, you were on the red carpet. We've never seen her look like that before. That was a new dress. She looks amazing. And you don't necessarily want to be photographed in something twice, because you want to give, the fans always something new and something fresh. And there's just like a newness to it. I think, to your point, with this situation that we're all in, the crux and the base of what fashion has become as we've known it is going to be forever changed. And it really is, in my opinion, and definitely now, and we'll see how we go forward, it is about clothing that you look and feel great in, but comfort is humongous. So let's just talk about denim for a hot second. So it's like the denim that is been coming out, and the technology, like that's something like that Lori does, logo, but Lori Goldstein on QVC. She puts lyocell in her denim, and lyocell is a fabrication that makes it so soft, and you mix it with the spandex, and you mix it with the cotton, and you mix it with a little bit of poly, and then you have these like jeans that sculpt your leg, make you feel so cozy, so comfy, but you don't feel like you're wearing jeans. And and that's kind of like the theory of clothing. You want that soft, cozy sweater that's breathable and lightweight, but that's in a great color that fits your body, super cute, and that you can go on a Zoom call or go, on a FaceTime, or, do something and feel terrific. I think the formality, certainly for a while because of this, is going to be gone. And I think it's really about casual, comfy clothes. And to your point, Isabel, which you said, which I think is brilliant, which is, yeah, we all know how to put on a gown and do our hair and do our makeup and, and put on fancy jewelry. And we all know how to put on a pair of sweatpants and throw our hair up in a ponytail and just, fresh scrubbed face. But how do you do all the in between? Like, how do you look cool? How do you throw in a pair of jeans and a top and mix it with, maybe a cami or, and throw on the headband and the earring and like, how do you do that look? Because there's so many elements involved in that. And I think that's what makes women's heads spin,
Yeah.
because it's just like, what is all that in between? Especially like I find that in traveling the country, like these moms, like, it's like they go to the carpool, they go to the games at their kids, the sports, events, and they want to look modern and cool, but they don't want to look frumpy, but they don't know what to do because it's just so the possibilities are endless. So guys, what I say is, that's what makes like magazines so great and Pinterest so great. Go on and look in things and get inspired and just kind of like, look at the way people are mixing clothes and wearing them, and then you sort of get inspired by that, and then you could do it yourself. And it really just depends on how you feel. That's why I always go back to what is going to make you feel the best, because we want to make you feel good, because when you feel good, you look good, and people respond to you differently. You feel confident and you just feel great. So
it really starts from the inside. Like I always find that it's one of those things, and I talk about it actually, like it's funny with acting, and at least in singing, like some people will say, how do you do that? And they'll say, do you work on the character like from the outside? Do you work on it from the inside in? Like, how do you do it? And sometimes it's actually, it's like a little bit of both. It's like a tennis game. Like sometimes you have to get something from the outside, like a piece of costume or something, to find an in to that character. And then that character takes over from the inside out, right? And then like I think with the same with clothes, sometimes you might not be feeling great one day, and all of a sudden you put on a shirt you really love, and you go, oh, I really like this shirt, and it makes you feel good. And then it's like the sort of this like domino effect, right? But it's almost like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. And
I love where you're going with it.
Right? There's some days where you're feeling really, really good, and you could be wearing like what I'm wearing today, my pajama pants and a whatever.
But you look beautiful.
But you feel really good, and you're like, cool, I feel great, I look great. And it's sort of this thing, right? It goes back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, that's what, and I know you know this because we've had this experience together.
Yeah.
And you've seen me get so excited. That's what I love about, working with people and helping them to discover, their inside beauty, meeting their outside beauty, and getting them to feel confident. And it's just so exciting for me. And what I love about it is that, and Isabel, I know you know this, I love putting people in clothes that they look good. I don't care about the trends. I don't care what's happening. I care about what do you look good in. And that's what I want you to wear, whether you're being interviewed on a television show, or, you're on a red carpet, or you're just on a Zoom call, or you're doing an Instagram Live. I just want you to feel really good. And so for me, what's so cool, and you and I have experienced this, it's like we're in a store, you put on something, you look in the mirror, I don't say a word, you don't say a word, but we look at each other and we're like, that's it, that's the one. And we don't even know why sometimes, we just know that it's right because you see it, I see it, none of us has to say anything. And it's like, okay, how many colors does it come in? Because I definitely want it in at least 2 colors. And we move on to the next one.
That's
right?
I have to say that I wish, okay, so here's a good last question. Things you wish you knew back when, right? I wish I had known, especially like when I was kind of first, especially getting clothes, especially to be on the road, right? When you need a lot of sort of the same thing. I wish I had done things like when I had a pair of jeans that I really loved, I wish I had gone back and bought like 2 more pairs, I wish when I found that shirt that I love, that I just gone back and bought it in like 4 different colors. Because
I know. It's so true. I mean, and we're all that way. And it's funny because I don't sell clothes. I just don't. I just show people what they look good in, and it's up to them whether they buy it or not. And I tell them, and even when I'm on QVC, I'm just saying, this is why I love this. It's up to you. You make the final decision. You're the boss. You really are. And so what I think is like, I just know for myself, when I find something that makes me feel really good, like an article of clothing, I definitely will get 2 of them, or, get it in another color, just because that's what I want in my wardrobe. And by the way, I want my whole closet to be that. Like, why have clunkers in your closet? I don't understand that from people. If you're not wearing it and you don't feel good in it, get rid of it.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
It's so true. It's so true. I love how Anna says, or you talk yourself out of buying something, and then when you go back, it's gone. I know.
I hate that. That makes me so mad. Like because it's almost like we're saying to ourselves, no, I better not. I don't deserve that. Do you know how much I hear that from women? Okay, I just have to pay tribute to women right now. I just want to, and Isabel, beautiful Isabel, and all you beautiful ladies out there, I just want to say, I think you're amazing. And I think you're amazing because all you do is give. You just give, 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 give. And what I find is like, and then I go out with some of these beautiful girls and we're shopping and they're like, I don't know, George. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get it all. I mean, maybe I'll get like one or two. And I'm like, but don't you get it? It's your moment. Like, have your moment. Like, you're there for everyone. Like, do something for yourself. And when they do, they always call me. And they're always like, I am so happy that I listened to you. And because I feel so good.
Yes, I do agree. Women tend to go a lot. I know I do. I know my mother does. I know all my girlfriends do. And
I think you're amazing.
You know,
I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't.
I know we all do. And I know a lot of men do. A lot of human beings on this planet. A lot of human beings on this planet. And talk about human beings on this planet that are giving. We'll just go to like what's happening. But like all of the doctors and essential care workers and all these people who are doing nothing but giving and giving, giving. Talk about like not necessarily going to work dressed up. Maybe it would be fun to know, maybe some of them are going with like putting on like a happy shirt when they leave their house, you know, even though they have to be covered in their scrubs and all the PPE and all that stuff that they wear.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's so important, you know, just like you said, you get up in the morning and you put yourself together. It's not about putting yourself together to make anybody else think something of you, but it's
for you. Yeah. And I just want to say I want to just piggyback onto you. Every night, oh, it makes me cry. Every night, my favorite moment is at 7 o'clock when I open up my window and I start banging my pot and blowing my whistle and clapping my hands and singing, you know, big notes of thank you. It is just, thank you. Thank you, workers. Thank you, doctors. Thank you, frontline people. Thank you so much for being out there. And you are the bravest soldiers that have ever been and will ever be.
I know. I think that you're so right. It's like putting yourself together, presenting your best face to the world as you can every day. And sometimes you have to present it to yourself first so that you can get on with it, you know? I always say, like, just keep swimming, right?
Yeah, that's right. Keep swimming, keep moving, and give yourselves a moment, guys. Yeah. Give yourselves a moment. Love yourself. I mean, I know it sounds like, you know, a little woo-woo, but seriously, just take a minute every morning and just say, okay, I'm gonna have a minute for myself so that you can have, you know, more for the people in your life and so that you feel better. It's all for you.
Okay, I have one last question. Sorry, before Instagram cuts us off. So this Thursday is actually I have two things. First of all, I want to say to everybody that's listening that George has a book and I want him to show it really quickly.
Sorry.
Hold on,
please. Change your clothes, change your life. Is that good, Isabel?
Yay!
That's my book. Change Your Clothes, Change Your Life, because you can't go naked. And we're actually relaunching in August. We're doing paperback. So we're going to do a whole bunch of press on that.
Love it. So that's the book. I want everybody to go check it out. And the second thing I wanted to say, so Thursday is the live stream of Marnie for the Met broadcast, another one. So in that spirit, and I think it was Anna, because she always asks the best questions on these chats. She says, your favorite style icon from the 1960s, and this is going in with the theme for Marnie, which is on Thursday.
She wants to know my favorite.
Yeah, do you have like any favorite 1960s style icons?
From the 60s. Okay, for the men, I'm going to say Steve McQueen. Was that right? 60s, Steve McQueen. Does that work?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm so bad at these dates, so I'm the last person to ask.
I hope I'm doing this right, Anna. And then for women, I'm gonna say Twiggy.
Oh.
Tall, British, cool, Twiggy. Yes, lashes for days. That's right.
Twiggy was so fun.
Isabel, you're amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
No, I'm so glad we got to chat and catch up like this. This was fun.
Yeah, it was so great. I mean, it's so good to see your face. It really fills my heart. I can't tell you. I feel like you've just taken me out of everything that I was feeling today because it wasn't one of my better days. And it's been such a gift to be able to spend this time with you and to chat and see your beautiful face. And I loved it. I have to say, I can't remember exactly what opera it was, but just a couple of days ago, I was watching you on stage, and and listening to you sing, and it just blew me away. I mean, you are just an unbelievable force of nature. You really are.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that voice and that acting and the talent and the beauty and the love and the spirit and the soul all mixed up together, it just presents this like beautiful force of life that just, I think, shines on us all. So I feel grateful that I get to experience that from you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel that way.
You're the best. I am sending you a gigantic hug through the screen, like huge, minutes
Thank
long.
you. I'm giving it right back to you, girl. I can feel my little cheek right up against yours. You're so sweet. I
love
adore
it.
you. I really do. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad we could do this, and I'm going to text you too, also, because if you're nearby, we're going to go for a walk.
I would love that. 6 feet away, of course.
Absolutely.
Social distancing.
Right, my dear.
Mask on.
So
All right. All right. Bye, honey. Thank you. Love you.
So child.